Wonder why nobody's here. Oh boy. I might have to do this again. Just run it again. This whole time I was just talking to myself, bruh. I'm terrible. I swear, man. I think I just need to leave the hot mic on, man. Oh, I am so silly. Dude, honestly, how long is I started this thing 44 minutes ago, and I was muted the whole time, bro. Dude, I fully admit, man, I'm an idiot. Whatever, I don't freaking care. Well, whatever. Hey, well, I'm just saying. I was just saying. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I was thinking about something. Yeah, I was just saying how like I was actually happy that it was just a really good game with the Chargers and the Chiefs. I mean, we were happy like basically all the way up to like I don't know what, like the last like 50 minutes of the game. And that's just it. You gotta play. Really, the third quarter is when everything started turning around. You know, no points were scored from any team on that quarter. So that can't happen. It was just sad to see that we don't have. We didn't come out on top of that. You know, so. But hey, that's just it. You can't actually have you can't give Patrick Mahomes that much time, because he is going to punish you. Yeah, if you guys were healthy, it would have been a really good. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, either way, I think it was pretty good. I mean, we would have had a much better chance. I mean, if Bosa was out, and hopefully if Mike Williams would stay out. I mean, he played for a little bit, but then I think his ankle was actually bugging him a lot more than he thought. So that's just is what it is there, you know. But at the same side, I mean, look, it's the Chiefs. Like that last 2 minutes of the game when we scored. And we scored pretty fast, and I was like, wow, I really think that we should have played that a little bit differently, so that way, like, it would not have given us, or given you guys, like, so much time. But, of course, we had plenty of time to actually drive it down and do the same thing with, like, even better situations and stuff, so, I don't know, man, and truth is, like, I know you know all this. So I'm more of a realist when it comes to the Chargers. I mean, I love Justin Herbert. Don't get me wrong, but here's the thing. There's been a couple times that we've already seen that he has not actually made good decisions in those last 2-minute drills. I don't know if it's the play calling, or maybe he's just not seeing things, and maybe he's just reading it. He's telegraphing what he's gonna do too soon or something. But there's been a couple times that he's been, in these situations, and he's just not been able to execute. So I'm a little bit more on the pessimistic side on Herbert. I'm starting to get that way. So. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to lose him. I don't want to let him go anywhere. I mean, I definitely think he's gonna be a really good quarterback, but we need to see it happen more. Oh, I need to see more. Yeah, I really wish that he did go for it on the 4th as well. I mean, he's known for. Yeah, it probably is the coaching, to be honest. And like. They're never going to admit that it's coaching either, but yeah. And that's the truth, man. Like, I mean, he had a perfect opportunity for going it for it on 4th and, what, 37, I think? Or was it our 37 or it was theirs? I mean, obviously, we didn't want to have another Browns situation. Of course, at that point, we were probably already losing. Yeah, he really does need healthy weapons, and that's true. But, I mean, he has Eckler, and he's been a stud all year still. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, but here's the thing too, though. You know, a lot of quarterbacks have been in the same situations as the Chargers are in right now, where like they are down, like they're down a lot of their best players, and like they're just having a hard time. You know, maybe they're beaten and bruised and battered and stuff like that, but they don't. But they still make it win. They still find a way, and that's just it. If they're on the field, they got to find a way to win. Bottom line, and that's the best thing that Eckler said recently. You know, he's like, no, look, it doesn't matter that all these players, all of my teammates are hurt. If I'm on that field, I'm gonna win. And that's the kind of mentality that I believe, you know, I believe that all these players really have. Like, they got to have that winning mindset, like, no matter what. There you go, finally. Chargers touchdown to Everett, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, you see that. You see that, Hefe?
Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And it's up through the goalpost. It's 17-10. So that drive in total.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to make sure I just leave the microphone turned on at all times. Because I think it's literally like every single time I do this, I forget that I'm muted, and I'm sitting there and start talking, and here it is, you know. But I definitely want to keep using this program because it has a lot of cool little features that that we don't normally have with the restream one. But this is still restreaming, by the way. So that's why you might every once in a while see it, like a comment come in from Facebook or Twitch even. Yeah. In fact, you know, we got a lot of things going on here, though. You know, like, I mean, Hefe, you know us bros. We all do a little bit of different things. My brothers like to kind of do a little bit more of the news coverage. I like to do more like kind of funner things like this. And I'll do occasionally. I'll do like an interview here and there, just chatting with people. Yeah, they're on the streets, just having a good time, just getting to know the fans, and getting to know a little bit more about Thunder Alley, because that's where it's at. Hefe, have you ever been to a Chiefs tailgate? Let me know how that is. I'd be curious to know. It's really fun. If it's fun or not, you know, I mean, hey, if it's fun, I would love to come out there. In fact, one of these days, I think I actually want to travel to every tailgate out there in the, you know, in the league. I would like to just kind of experience it and see what they got, see what they got cooking. As I'll say this, the Chargers tailgate so far, I mean, it's really the only tailgate that I've been to. It's pretty dang good. It's really solid. So many people around, just having a good time. and able, just focused, just focus on the vibe, In fact, me and the bros have been talking a little bit about it. We've actually been thinking that we actually want to get a spot, a designated spot there in Thunder Alley, so that way we can actually have our own little area where people can come visit with us and chat with us, and we may have something actually really fun actually cooking. So if you ever come to Thunder Alley, just maybe probably next year, if that's gonna happen, we'll see. Well, you might see something. You might see a little something going down with us. So we ain't nothing to announce just yet, but there's a little something special cooking up right now. Hey Martin Lorenzo, how you doing, buddy? I wish Herbert would have sat down through his injury, because most Charger fans seem to forget. And that's very true, actually, yeah, a lot of fans are really just kind of getting real salty about how Justin Herbert's doing right now. And no, for sure, he's definitely nursing that injury still. And we gotta just remember that, So I'm definitely one of those people that remember it, and I'm really just trying to think. I was like, look, hey, he's hurt. He's playing hurt, and he's still doing really well. He's still like in the top 5 passing situations quarterbacks out there, and he's had like hardly any weapons, but he's starting to really connect well with Josh Palmer, which I think is really good, though, to be honest. Look, and let's be honest about that. Look, why it's so good that he is actually out there doing well with Joshua Palmer, because he's able to start connecting with one of our other receivers that we have in our arsenal, because we need somebody out there that's going to actually be able to replace Keenan Allen, to play with Mike Williams, to kind of replace them, and to see if to have someone that was going to rise up with Herbert. I kind of, when I was muted, I was talking a little bit about that, how one of the best things about Kelsey and Mahomes' situation, is that they've kind of grew up together. Like, they've been doing well. Yeah. EA Sports. It's in the game. Yeah, so
we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gott. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always, as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
But Martin, the problem is too, is if he actually did sit out, and it did come out that it's actually just a cracked rib cartilage. I mean, that's people would start calling him a lot of names, a lot of 5 and 6 letter names, you know what I'm saying? Starts with a B, starts with a P, that kind of stuff. And so, because there's a lot of players that have played with that same injury, and they kept playing, and they still had great years. But hey, it probably would have been good for him to sit out for a little bit. I totally agree, because he's definitely on high alert, trying to avoid doing stuff, But I think Rodgers had a little video recently where he said, "Yeah, I've played with broken index fingers, broken pinky fingers, broken thumbs, broken stuff, bottom line is that all these players are out there playing kind of really hurt, but they just got to keep playing, Martin says, okay, this coaching staff has failed Herbert. in so many ways. The defense gives up 5.7 yards per carry, has no healthy wide receiver or tight end. You know, I tend to agree with you there. Yeah, like, I mean, I really feel like it's a dang shame that Herbert has Joe Lombardi as our offensive coordinator right there, because he's playing very conservative for Justin Herbert right now, and it's been really frustrating, especially about the plays that he chooses, because it's just a lot of sticks. You know, like they say, oh well, the receivers don't know the playbook. Well, I mean, I think that's BS, man. That's just an excuse, you know. I don't like it. I don't like it when they say that, because I guarantee you that these players know more than what they're trying to say. Because it's how hard is it to really just do more than just run straight 10 yards and then kind of curl back, and then go left and right? You know, how hard is it to do a little bit more than that, and to know which plays are more than that? If anything, that just tells me that Joe Lombardi's playbook is way too complicated. It needs to be simplified desperately. Gotta use like simple terms, you know. Like, I mean, look, let's be honest. Like, and we talk about a lot how, oh yeah, Justin Herbert's really smart, and Zion Johnson's really smart. You know, like it. I mean, let's be honest though too. There is a real corruption to sports entirely, you know, right? A lot of these players that have had, like, you know, really good careers, and, like, you know, they showed a lot of promise early on, and ever since probably like middle school, even potentially, the players have kind of been handed a silver spoon. They're like, oh man, this guy's really talented. He's gonna, you know, do well. Oh, in high school he does even better. In college he does even better. You know, like, a lot of the times these teachers are gonna make sure they get the grades in order for them to keep playing, because they eventually have the ability to get on the field. I'm not saying that, you know, players are dumb, and I'm not saying that players are, you know, privileged in some way, whatever like that, you know, but I'm just saying that the education system favors sports, you know, and it's, in a lot of ways, it's kind of, the education system is kind of a farm for talent. That's all I'm saying. So Martin says, let's face the reality. Brandon Staley has, hey, there you go, Mike Williams for the touchdown, baby. Let's go. That would have been nice to see during the Chiefs game. So let's face the reality. Brandon Staley has been underwhelming as much as I liked him at one point. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, see, I think the thing that's the most underwhelming for me about Brandon Staley is that he's, I feel like he's aggressive when he doesn't need to be aggressive, and he's timid when he needs to be aggressive. That's been frustrating for me. But I like the aggressiveness, like, more than I like the timidness, for sure. I want to see him out there playing, you know, doing those 4th and Staley's things. You know, like, hey, if we're already losing the game, who the hell cares? Freaking go for it on 4th down. You know, but if we got the lead, play a little bit more conservative, sure, you know? Like, I mean, it depends. If we got the lead and we're up like 14 points, sure, be a bit more aggressive. All gas, no brakes, you know what I'm saying? You know, take out the stops and just be like, all right, yeah, look, we're winning, and we're just going to keep on winning. Like, I like that ruthlessness. I mean, I get the respect. I like that as well, too. But I like this is an aggressive sport. This is a testosterone-filled sport. So, I agree with you. Like, I feel like Brandon Staley is a little bit more conservative when he needs to be aggressive, and he's timid when he needs to be aggressive. Like that. But he flip flops. We don't know what Brandon Staley we're gonna get any given Sunday. That's kind of the crazy thing to me. But the bigger thing too is like, I mean, I will say this though too. It's like I still criticize Joe Lombardi more than I criticize Brandon Staley. If anything, my criticism towards Brandon Staley in this situation is that he's doing nothing about Joe Lombardi. In fact, if anything, he's defending Joe Lombardi. And that I don't quite understand why. Maybe it has to do with money, because maybe Joe Lombardi has some kind of contractual obligation that if he gets fired, he has to get paid a certain amount of money or something like that. He has some kind of guarantee. I don't really know. We don't really get to see the coach contracts, So that's the kind of the concern that I have. So, but then Martin goes on to saying, even when Tua sucked, he still had a top 10 defense as well as Lamar Jackson. And that's very true. Our defense has been very lackluster. Even from last year to this year, we've obviously gave the other team more points than we actually score points, and that's actually very sad to see, especially when Brandon Staley is supposed to be this whole defensive guru, but we've actually not seen that to be the case at all. And so, where is the disconnect then? I would actually really like to see this though too. It's like I've actually thought this a long time. I really don't like when head coaches do one of the other jobs, like they're a head coach and an offensive coordinator, or a head coach and defensive coordinator. I hate that. I want a head coach to be a head coach. Maybe at best a head coach and GM. I'm fine with that. That sounds like a good idea because they get more control over personnel. I like that idea. And I think actually Brandon Staley would be a fantastic GM as well, because he knows players and he actually went out and got a lot of big splash players, and so that would be actually be solid. Martin says, that is why I never understood why we got Brandon Staley for calling a timeout versus the Browns. The play calling sucked. For calling a timeout. Yeah. The play calling sucked, but I agreed with the call. Yeah. So, well, I mean, it goes all the way back to the Raiders game, Week 18 last year. Why would they make that the timeout at the very end when it seemed like they weren't really doing anything? There was no point in him actually calling the timeout. I mean, even if the Raiders waited till the last second to call their timeout, we still would have only had we wouldn't have any time really to do anything, even if they missed. I guess that was just the question. Is that we wanted to call the timeout because, in that Week 18 game, because if they missed, then we would have still had. Lost it. You know what? This thing happened. Hang on a sec, guys. Sorry. This always happens. You know what? Yeah, because I didn't touch the Stream Deck for a little bit, so it it timed out on me. I think I gotta figure out how to turn that up. Yes, you're right. Okay, going for it on fourth down, not a timeout. That's all good. I think I actually knew what you meant, but I did want to bring that other situation up because it's part of Brandon Staley's legacy. But yeah, going forward on that fourth down, when they were in field goal range, with the game essentially, within field goal range, and they could have kicked the field goal to actually get the field goal to win the game. That's just a crazy move. absolutely insanity. And hey, I'll say this though too. I think Rex Ryan was like super pissed at Brandon Staley for that call, and you know, he's rightfully so. He was very visibly angry, and everyone was in that room confused why Brandon Staley went for it, you know. And I'm actually kind of starting to get, like you said, I'm starting to get a little frustrated with the way Brandon Staley is answering the questions, you know, about why he's doing that. I mean, I'll just take him and say, hey, we thought it was the best call for the situation. I'll take that. And it was apparently, you know, if we lost that because of that decision, then I'll take the heat there, you know. Hey, Martin. It says, yeah, we as Charger fans, we need to ride with the call if we want to be the aggressive team. Yeah. Hey, I agree with that, Martin. You know, we need to actually, like, you know, just go with it as much as possible. And that's, in order to be aggressive teams, we need to just keep the gas on the pedal, you know. And how do we do that? What is our most effective weapon right now? And that's really Justin Herbert, but making him throw deep. Give him passes at 20 yards or so, you know, maybe 15. Look, okay, we got our fastest receiver right now was essentially Josh Palmer, and he's like a 4.6 or something like that. I mean, this is all relative too, you know. Like, I mean, a 4.6. Oh, they're saying that that's slow, bro. That's only 0.2 seconds slower than a 4.40. You know, like, I mean, Deion Sanders was like a 4.17 or something like that, you know. But on the other hand, Jerry Rice was like a 4.8 or some crap. What's up, Aether? How you doing? I'm glad you could join us. So there's the biggest thing for me too is, like, speed is not everything when it comes to wide receivers. We actually need good route runners. We need people that actually can fake out the cornerbacks to be like, hey, you think I'm gonna go this way, but I'm actually gonna go this way. Hey, you know, that's what we really need. I don't really care if, like, how fast they run. I care about what their cutbacks are, what their cone drills are, and stuff like that, you know. Like, and I want to see that. You didn't know that you had the showers? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm saying is that, like, when it comes, we were just talking about, you know, Brandon Staley and, you know, Justin Herbert's weapons and stuff like that, you know, like, and the play calling for, oh yeah, that I was showing tonight. Yeah, I wanted to actually, go tonight because tomorrow night, obviously it's Thanksgiving. I could go later, essentially, later on the week, but actually I'm traveling, so I'm gonna basically be busy pretty much most of the week. And me and the bros, we may actually do a couple of, oh, gotcha. Yeah, the Madden show, sorry. Yeah, but so what I'm thinking about is that a lot of great receivers in history are not the fastest receivers. They're good route runners, and they just get separation, and they got good hands, and that's what makes the difference is. So to hear Joe Lombardi say, "Oh, well, our wide receivers don't know the playbook," like I said, I go back into that. It's like, look, if they don't understand the playbook, then you need to simplify the damn playbook. That's the bottom line. Your playbook is too confusing to these players. Like, it shouldn't be freaking rocket science. And, like, they are not robots. They are not statisticians. They are not, like, going to, oh, well, if I take one step this way, then I have a 80% chance of doing that. No, they are just out there playing the game. They're not thinking differently about where they need to go. They know the play. They're going to run that route, and that's all. Hey, Aether, I want you to bring the fire, baby. Hey, if you mad at me about something I said, bring the heat, my brother. I like it. I like the, because I'm ready to cook. Yeah, because I want to smell what you cooking, bruh. Let's do this. It's actually kind of funny. I I guess technically I was actually just eating for the first half of this video. I'm probably just gonna let it sit up. You know, I did probably say a few things that were just all muted. I'll go back and bring it in or whatever. But half of this half of this video I was basically just completely muted. But Hefe KC came in and he was like, by the way, you're muted. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize. It's time for a Tootsie Pop, baby. Do you guys think that I can get to the center before this video is up? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. If I can actually if I can do that. I'm gonna lick this thing. And let's see if I can get to the center.
On first and 10, Herbert. He'll find Williams on the slide.
I'm just gonna put him in my mouth. I'm not gonna just keep licking it like that. 1, 2, 3. I'm just like that owl.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
All right, come on, Herbert. We're down by 10, man. You got plenty of time to do this. Let's do this.
At the 45-yard line. Eckler now between the tackles. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I tell you, we really got to get a run game established. And I tell you, man, like, oh, and we got a fumble. Is that going to be a fumble 6 here? No, come on, man. Shoot. I tell you, man, we really got to get our 2-1 game going. I know what it is. Like, we get that I formation there. Just so many different, like, types of things that we need to be doing. We need to see Horvath out there leading Austin Eckler. I don't understand why they're not doing that. You know, we just get two to double back situations that we need Spiller on one side, Eckler on the other side, or Horvath on one side and Eckler on the other side. I know there's sorry, I'm typing some stuff, you know.
They're still not field goal range yet, so they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Types of
Phoenix, Arizona's the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. Third quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, I believe it's T formation. That's no, T formation is, yeah, I like T formation a lot, you know. I like I formation a lot. Well, there's no chance for us to do power formation. You know, I don't really care for Maryland I formation so much, you know, but like, I don't know, I'm just looking at Wikipedia formations here, you know. So there's so many opportunities that we don't do. We just do so many single back formations. We do spread formation, H back. So just frustrating that we don't see more of these types of freaking crazy formations on offense. Not crazy formations. We just double back. bottom line is, like, our run game sucks because all we ever could do is just have Eckler in the backfield. You know, we use, you know, Horvath only in goal line situations, and that's terrible to me. All right, let's get to your question there, right there. First, I want to talk about our playoff chances. Our fans are not normal, bro. We're not getting to 10-7. We need 11 wins, and I'm sticking by it. I don't know if you saw James' video. I think it's possible. Yeah, I mean we're 5-5 right now. We can, if we only lose 11 games. So that would mean that we would only have to lose one game, I guess, you know, in this next run. That's like final stretch going into, you know, the holiday season essentially. So if we only lose one game, then we would be 11 wins. So who are we losing to, do you think? I think we can actually make it with 10-7, to be honest. Yeah, and I really think that if we're gonna lose to a team in this next stretch, I think we may lose to the Dolphins. It's very possible that we could lose to the Dolphins. At least that's what I say, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The Titans are just hit and miss, you know. I mean, I definitely feel like we're gonna win this game with the Cardinals. Like, I mean, it's definitely not gonna be like this simulation here.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
Yeah, because, yeah, the truth is, like, look, we play the Dolphins and we play the Titans. I think those two are the two games that I'm very questionable about right now. And because my problem with the Titans is that obviously Derrick Henry is just a freaking beast, man. Nobody can really stop him. He's just such a terrible, big threat, no matter what. But Titans and Dolphins are going to be like the biggest trouble that we have, for sure. Miami, Buffalo, Jets are not going anywhere. It's going to be New England and Cincinnati. The only loss I see is Denver. Interesting. But I believe the Bolts beats the Rams and clinch the playoffs. Oh. Why Denver, though? Is it because, well, because that game's at home here. So we'll have we'll have the home field essentially, and we're gonna be playing in warm weather. So I mean, I don't see Denver doing well at all. I mean, they're basically giving up the season. They have given it up, and like I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson knows that they're in a rebuilding phase, and that's why he doesn't really care.
On first down, it's Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive. It is, but you also have to yourself in play calling.
So here's my thoughts on it too.
Don't save it for the second touchdown. You have the first one for the second one to even matter.
We could potentially beat the Dolphins, I would say. And I think could because the bigger thing is when we play them. Let's see, because we play them week 14, I believe. So that's like 4 games away from the playoffs. I mean, Miami could be clinched at that point for their playoff berth. I mean, they're not going to be. There's no guarantee that they will be able to get first seed. I'm pretty sure first seed for the AFC is going to go to the Chiefs. The way it looks like to me, the way Patrick Mahomes is playing. And then we play the Titans right after that, you know? So the Titans could also be clinched in their division at that point. So we got 5, you know, actually, okay, so last week. So it's very possible, man. I mean, but the biggest thing is, though, too, there is a lot of different scenarios in play here already.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense
I like that, Aether.
able to stop him before he
So the reason why you said Denver is it's because it's the last game of the season, and Coach Staley will keep us healthy and prepared for a wild card game, which will be Saturday on the road. And Denver at home want to finish with a win. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that could be very possible. But we really got to step up our game and our play calling and stuff in order to make sure that we actually can beat the Dolphins and the Titans, because they are definitely the stronger opponents in this half of the season.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
And so
Herbert back to the air. And he'll find Everett there.
and that's why I do kind of accept that we might actually lose 2 more games, and we can end the season at 10-7, being a realist. But I'm hopeful that we only lose one. If we only lose to one of those 2 teams, Dolphins or Titans, then we're in great shape then. Then we're going 11-7 for sure, or 11-6.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Now it's Herbert.
Hey, what's up, Optimus Prime? Yeah, it's a little bit closer. So far though, the Cardinals have been blowing us out, like, in this little thing. It's been pretty terrible for the Bolt fam. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10.
Jeez, by the way, Raiders tickets are $200 coming up next year. By the way, but Arizona tickets for this game coming to this week, $33. Come on, guys, fly out. Let's go. Let's get some people to come out here. That'd be amazing. Tickets for the Titans game are only $32. I would actually not mind going out to that one as well. That'd be really fun. Okay, Ethan, what you got for us on the Coach Staley situation? And we had an all kind of chat a little bit more about what Martin and I talked about a little bit. It's actually pretty interesting. So I'd like to hear what you got to say.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Michelle on an island by himself in the backfield, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle.
There you go. Sonny Michelle punched it in.
For a Charger touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ether says, all right. Last week they posted a poll on NFL Network about on the coach most likely to return next season was Staley. Got a 66% of the vote. Oh, that's cool. You know, and that's the truth. Is like honestly, I don't see them getting rid of Staley either. If anything, we've got to get rid of Lombardi. That's just kind of a no-brainer to me. But I wonder if it's a situation like the Raiders, whereas we just don't have enough cash to pay him to leave, to get rid of him, you know? Kind of like a sort of penalty, essentially. Oh, there you go. Did they recover it? Jeez. Getting lucky on those recoveries. Yeah, so I feel like, I mean, Staley will play again for us. Like, I think typically we stick with a coach for 4 years before letting him go. It's usually like a 4 to 5 year option, essentially. And you'll see how it shakes out, you know. Like, I mean, so and here's the thing. I kind of mentioned this on one of the other streams as well. Is that I believe that Brandon Staley is a great coach, and I believe that he actually has a lot of possibility as being an amazing coach. But the problem is that it takes a coach way longer than a player to be good. And what I mean by that is that, like, I mean, coaches can have easily 30 to 40 plus years as a coach, and they'll move around teams all the time. Look at Bill Belichick. He started out the Browns and moved around quite a bit, and he was cheating then, and he cheats now. And, you know, when he landed in the Patriots, he just was freaking figured everything out. You know, he's just like, oh my gosh. Well, let me just do that, and that's just how he is now, you know. Optimus Rhyme. So okay, let's go back before. So Aether says, regardless if they make the playoffs or not, because all injuries they are going to bring to the coach and GM back. However, 2 things will be changed. I promise. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that's the truth too. So, like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm more happy with Brandon Staley than I am with Joe Lombardi. I am on board with Brandon Staley. It's just Joe Lombardi. His play calling ability sucks. His playbook sucks. It's too complicated for these players. If you have all these players that apparently don't know the playbook, and they are the backups of, you know, our wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, that's awful. Maybe we just don't have a depth problem. We absolutely have a play calling problem. We have a playbook problem. So that speaks volumes to me. All right, so what does Optimus Rhyme say? The Chargers probably aren't going to fire anyone if he wins at least 8 to 10 games. The Cardinals will swoop in and trade for Peyton, and Andy Reid will remain the uncontested best coach of the AFC West. Ugh, dang, that sucks, Optimus Rhyme. I mean, I hear what you're saying, though, too. You know, it's like, because, yeah, if Brandon Staley goes 9-8 again this year, I mean, yes, he's a winning coach. Let's just say that, you know, 100%. He would be a winning coach because both years are above 500%, which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good to be above 500, but you got to make the playoffs, baby. That's what all that matters, you know. And the last coach that we actually had that took us to the playoffs a lot consistently was actually North Turner. As much as it pains me to say. You know, Mike McCoy took us to the playoffs once. Anthony Lynn took us to the playoffs once. But and both of them did, pretty bad in the playoffs. That's why they ain't a coach anymore, and there's other reasons too.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines. We're staring that one down all the way.
I'm not ready to give up on Brandon Staley though yet, man. That's just my thing.
Still lots of time left.
Martin says, do you not find it funny they were giving the Chiefs all the calls towards the end of the game? The refs have played a huge role in the Chiefs' wins. Absolutely right, dude. The refs are the Chiefs' 12th man no matter what. And here's the thing, too. It's also a primetime situation. The Chiefs have some kind of deal right now where they cannot lose in primetime, it seems. The NFL doesn't want them to lose in primetime games. There's something going on there. I 100% agree, though, too. I don't like it as an excuse, but it definitely feels that way. Like that offensive holding call, that was really sus. That's pretty damn sus. So I'm not a huge fan of what the refs are doing for the game. Like they're really just changing everything. Psh, man, and yet again, dude, that's like the 5th something sack for this, and like it just really bothers me, man. And I think it's because like this game didn't really know how to judge Jamari Sawyer, and he's doing way better than like he should be, and that's pissing me off that they're not making better about it. Okay, so number 1, Coach Staley will be forced to change his entire offensive staff, whether he likes it or not. And second, the owner will tell the coach and GM next year championship appearance or both of you are out. See, I believe it'll happen that way. So I'll say this, Aether. The first one, yes, I 100% agree with that. I feel like Ronaldo Hill will probably have to go somewhere else. Joe Lombardi will have to go somewhere. But truth is, though, too, is like I really feel like. So here's one thing that I said earlier that you weren't here in the chat for yet. I don't like it when a head coach is a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator as well. I do not want a head coach to make play calls. I would be totally fine with a head coach to be also a GM to make personnel calls. That's fine by me. But I don't want to see them out there and making the calls for offense or defense. It's not my thing. I think it's a bad idea. Head coach got enough things on their mind as is. They don't need that same stress to be on a defense. And I'd also say this. I don't like seeing either the defense or the offensive coordinator in the damn booth. They need to be on the field as well. Just the same as, the head coach or whoever else. All the coaches need to be on the field right there with the players in the damn ground, in the trenches with them. Because honestly, it shows to me that there's a massive disconnect on all that stuff. So I don't like it. And so that's kind of one thing that I want to say. So if there's going to be a personnel change, then I want to see Brandon Staley hire a defensive coordinator to do the defensive calls with him. Bottom line, that's what I want to see. So yeah, man. Okay, so then Aether Martin says, I personally think we need more bootlegs because our offensive line is not capable of holding down a 7-step drop. We need Herbert moving. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea too. More bootleg. Running out a little bit. Make it seem like a, do a little play action bootleg. Why not? Draw them off. Downside is, I think that'd be fantastic. Definitely need to see a little bit more of that.
In this football game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their
Got to call this timeouts here, boys. Yeah.
Final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So they come up on second down.
Yeah, so I would say the bootleg plays are actually really good. You know what I really hate from our team? This mother effing jet sweeps. I don't know if we've actually ever had a successful jet sweep. With that San Francisco game, we did a jet sweep right into the arms of Nick Bosa. Freaking, our tight ends they totally failed on that block. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. That was just terrible. I even want to see more screens, man. Let's get some screen passes going. Why the hell not? It's just terrible.
Connor gonna get it again on second down. And now with 152.
I don't know, honestly, Martin, though. I don't think his ribs are okay still. Because I heard that that injury is like a 6-month really recovery period to be fully healthy. He's probably still feeling quite a bit of pain. Not as much pain as Mac Jones was, like when he walked off that field. I don't know if you guys saw that video. He was crying into the locker room.
On the draw, Connor.
Crying in pain, that is. Not crying like Dak Prescott, with tears and stuff like that,
Now the Chargers will use the second of their
Yeah, but check out I'm Bearing Down, and he just dropped rep videos on Salyer and Zion. Okay, I'll check it out. Where do I check those out, Optimus Rhyme? I would love to check them out. Yeah, I love it. And I do like Pigskin Addicts a lot. He does super good, like a little, not super good necessarily, but really good analysis on plays. So I do totally support Pigskin Addicts. He's definitely very negative towards the Chargers a lot of times, it seems like, but that's all good. Hey, I don't mind a bit of negativity sometimes. Get me, I'm actually more pessimistic towards the team. But I do not think that the game this weekend's going to go like that, though. Like 24-36, nah. Maybe the opposite. Our offensive line is only as good as Herbert makes it to be. I agree with that. The only problem that Aether has with Coach Staley is that he does not go for it on 4th down as much as he needs to. He doesn't have doesn't go 4th and Staley enough. That's what I think, baby. Herbert is a magician when he moves in the pocket or eludes the pass rush by moving. It's very true. Okay, I'll check that out there, Optimus Rhyme. I'm Bearing Down. I'll look at it. Yeah, I like those hype videos a lot. They're super good. Okay, so yeah, so I really think that Herbert is pretty dang good when he moves in the pocket, but right now he's not really doing that too much at all, though, is he? He's very much just doing a lot of he's just really staying still in the pocket a lot. Like, he doesn't really move around. He's not really being elusive like Patrick Mahomes by any means, and he's not actually running out and getting a few yards like as much. But this game specifically, he's just standing still like that all the time. My gosh, the computer sucks. Like, he literally caught the ball and ran backwards too much. Martin Lorenzo says that Pigskin Addicts is a little too much or too emotional sometimes. Yeah, I get that. Oh, it's wrong, Aether? Okay.
That's caught by Williams, and they're able to get this one across the 35. First there as Herbert finds Williams.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get
Yeah, I think you're right there, Martin. He trusts his line. Like, honestly, it makes sense to trust your line. They're doing their job, and they're doing a pretty good job pretty good job, to be honest. Like, Jamari Salyer only gave up 1 sack so far for his rookie year, which is pretty dang impressive if you ask me. But as a left tackle, you know, like, I mean, obviously that's your job. You do not give up sacks. But yeah, you know, unfortunately he did give up a sack. I think we had a whole bunch of sacks that game. All right, let me know. Let me hear it, Aether. I want to know what you got. Herbert is best when he trusts the O-line, a la the rookie season. But his rookie season, though, our offensive line was pretty dang solid. It's pretty good, too. So I don't know. All right, I'm actually really thinking last year. As being a pocket passer, we had a pretty good line despite our right tackle situation. Chargers played the Niners and Chiefs. I predict 0 sacks against the Cards. I agree. Yeah. You know, we what's his name? Myles Garrett only had 8 sacks or 8 sackless games prior to our game with him. Because of Jamari Salyer, it was 9 sackless games. So that's a weighted stat right there too. And I think that's kind of one of the things too. Like, you know what, I really want to just kind of emphasize a lot about that stuff. You know, there's certain stats that matter more than others, and I've kind of talked about that a little bit more when it comes to like sacks versus hits versus pressures. Pressures aren't that important, in my opinion. You know, these quarterbacks are under pressure for a whole 60 minutes of game. You know, like it's a high pressure thing. You got millions of people watching these people, all kinds of pressure. Hits matter because, you know, if you hurt the quarterback, you know, that sucks. But sacks matter because it's a loss of downs, you know. But what's worse than a sack is, of course, a interception or a fumble. So, there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Martin seems to think the O-line sucked his rookie season.
He's gonna let it fly.
All right, let me see what you. Hey, there you go. There you go, Mike Will. Got that catch. Dan Feeney, Forrest Lamp. Yeah, both those two guys were pretty trash for us during that time. Okay, so here's Aether explaining his situation with Staley. When you are the head coach, you need to overrule your offensive coordinator on some play calling, and he has not done that. Lombardi's getting away with too much crap. Ah, there you go. See, I agree with that. I really do agree with that, actually, and I feel like, but here's the problem too. Brandon Staley's not really an offensive mind. He's a defensive mind. That's why he does the defensive play calling.
So that'll do it.
Well, that's the game, folks.
And the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals.
They just beat us in those 3 things. Well, what a bummer. What a bummer that the Chargers lost the simulation. But it's just a simulation, baby. That's all it is. All right. 36-24. That's not going to be how it shakes out, though. All right. So let's just get in here again. I'm going to hide this for a minute here. Pull it. Oh, the chat is up. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I hope you like that, guys. Yeah, so let's just kind of chat a little bit more for a bit here. So, if you haven't already, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us, you know, and drop a like, and you know, let other people know that we out here, that the Chargers ain't out of this season yet, baby. Yeah, you guys know me. I'm the Bolt Bros. Not I am, but I'm part of the Bolt Bros. My name is Kyle, And I do these things all the time. I run little Madden simulations. I look at highlights and just stream this thing when I can. I'm starting to try to figure out ways that my brothers can actually do that a little bit more, because no, they desperately want to go and look at plays as well and chat about those things. And eventually I feel like, we'll be doing a little bit more things. I think in the off season I kind of have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, and I want to actually just like learn more about football myself, so that way I can learn how to be a better fan that way. So Aether, I don't want to say, yeah, I definitely agree that I feel like Staley is more of a he needs to be more aggressive in his coaching style. Obviously, he's giving everyone around him too much free reign, and that's just something he's got to learn as a coach, that you actually are the head coach, you have the final say. And so if you don't like something, if you don't think that this is a good setup, then you got to make that change. You got to switch it up for him. And so yes, I agree with that. Yeah, Cardinals rushing was ridiculous, Martin. Absolutely ridiculous. Staley has to fix the formation gaps on the defensive side opposite Max. Absolutely. There's a lot of problems that Mac has. Well, not Mac has, but like, they're gonna double team him all the time. Especially with Bosa being out. It doesn't matter. Like, they're not gonna respect who's opposite Khalil Mack. It just doesn't make any sense that they would. Because the other guys aren't doing so hot. This is kind of really why I'm mad that they did not keep Jamal Davis. He was the guy that came out of the CFL. He was like one of the first people that we picked up in the off season, and he's a beast. I've seen him, like, his tape is really good. He's like averages like 6 sacks a year, and like, I mean, that's not like stellar numbers by any means or whatever, but that's like, this guy is actually strong. Like, and he's got what Staley wants. He's really fast and he's strong. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Kyle Van Noy and K9 have not been the best situation here. I want to see. Actually, I'm going to take a look. Let's go back into that real quick. Let's go look into the stats here. You guys were saying this, so let's just look at the team stats again. All right. So Chargers had only 74 rushing yards, which is very accurate. That's very accurate to what the Chargers season's been like. Passing yards, 369. That makes sense. First downs, 21. Punt return yards, 0. Jeez. Kick return yards, 173. Total yards, okay. Total offense, 443. All right. Okay, let's move. I'm gonna drop the chat here a second here. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna move my webcam a little bit. All right. Rushing yards, 156. Sheesh. Passing yards, 215. First downs, so okay. And see, and I've talked about that a little bit as well. I actually believe that the truth is, chat's back up. Here you go. The truth is, like, Brandon Staley's defense is designed for passing. Bottom line, he's because the whole league is a pass first league these days. So we got to have that, solid pass defense, make him beat you on the ground. But if you do that, you're going to lose the clock. If you let them run all day, they will chew up the clock all day, and you're not going to be able to actually have many time of possession. So that's the downside of having a pass heavy defense. Every incompletion is a stop of the clock. So you're just giving yourself less time by not focusing and protecting the run that well. and that's the biggest problem. I mean, look, we all know this is a game of inches, but it's also a game, a clock game. It's a race against time all the time, every single game. All right, so Aether kind of goes in a little bit more, and because of that, we are still 5-5 with Staley. Talking about the Staley situation, not 7-3. He doesn't need to fire Lombardi, but take over some of the stupid play calling and key times of the game. I agree, and the biggest thing for me too, though, is like I was saying, is that like my biggest criticism is like, look, if the players that are backing up our starters don't understand the playbook, and like so that way Lombardi does these stupid routes 10 yards out and then it kind of comes back, whatever, like those stick routes. Terrible. It's a terrible idea. I think he has a complicated playbook problem. We can't have that at all. It's really frustrating that is a possibility. That his playbook is just too damn complicated. So I don't get it. All right. So it's almost midnight here, so I think I'm gonna wrap up here pretty soon. So I got one more thing to share, but what do you guys want to say? Okay. All right, everyone. Tell me. Optimus Rhymes asks. All right, everyone. Tell me who you think is the best non-O-line blocker. We want to know. I'll start. I honestly think the best non-O-line blocker that we got is Xander effing Horvath, baby. And he's got, dude, he is the top dude for that job, but they don't use him at all, and I don't understand why they don't use him. Because he's pretty freaking good out there, and every single time not every single time, he's only played like 43 snaps, so he's probably super fresh. He's probably not hurt at all, so why not put him out there and just like make him lead block for Eckler? I mean, I get it that we only have one fullback, but I mean, if he gets hurt, they can always just reach out and get Gabe Neighbors again. He's probably nowhere to be seen. For that matter too, is like I want to see a lot more 2-1 personnel out there. Get that T formation, get that I formation, get that H formation. Shoot, all these different things. I mean, not using him has been the biggest dang shame of this season. Yeah, sure, he was only a couple shades away from being Mr. Irrelevant in the draft, but I keep saying this. The only reason why LT was so good, and he said it himself, is because of Lorenzo Neal. Lorenzo Neal, and him worked in such a good partnership and in such a good tandem that they were able to actually makes those plays develop so much better. So I just don't get it. Yeah, we didn't use him on a 3rd and 2. I know, come on, man. I don't understand why. So, we don't use Xander Horvath more because of all this crap. And Carlos says, we got to find a way to put pressure on Murray if he is a running quarterback. Not just a running quarterback, he's an RPO quarterback. So, so we got to, give him a lot of looks. We'll probably run a lot of 6 in the box defenses in order for him to kind of not know what he needs to do as far as the RPO situation, and just don't take the bait. Just leave. Make sure that the it's do a little bit more 6 in the box, a little bit of zone coverage stuff. Maybe have the safeties doing man, essentially, get controlling, paying attention to certain people. But that's about it. I would like to see more of the defenders just staying with a 6 in the box. It's a fine balance. That's what I want to see. And I want to see a lot more 2-1 personnel. Get that lead blocker out there. Our tight ends clearly are not covering it as blockers. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they need to do to give Eckler space and to give him room. It's not working. Aether says the GM is going to fire Lombardi in the offseason, which watch and see. I like that. I would love to see Tom Telesco do that, but I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, let's be real. Like, Tom Telesco is not a very aggressive GM. I mean, yeah, sure, he made some aggressive moves in the offseason or whatever, but during the season, he's nothing. He's a little kitty cat. I don't know. Kitty cat TT. I don't know. Let's see. Optimus Rhyme says he has missed a block every now and then in between running and returns, but he is better than McKitty and Rodgers. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, let's be real. No one is perfect out there. They're not going to make every single one of their blocks, but I mean, at least he knows the running route better than what a tight end would, I imagine. I mean, McKitty's not all that big. I mean, Horvath is pretty strong as far as I remember. In fact, Parham is he's constantly injured, so he's not going to be doing so hot. And I talked about this a lot too, by the way. We really need a better tight end, by far. I think that actually might be one of our priorities in the draft this year, is to get a good tight end. Tired of these, really, kind of mediocre tight ends. We need someone who's going to be able to grow with Justin Herbert and actually really take him to the next level as well, because that's just kind of the way it is. And you're right, Optimus Rhyme. I don't think Lombardi gets fired. Oof, man, if he doesn't get fired in this offseason, what a joke, dude. I'm over it. I'm over it. I think Telesco is probably going to get fired, though. No, sorry. I think Lombardi is going to get fired, but I don't think it's going to be a call from Telesco. I think it's going to be more a Spanos just has to step in kind of thing. I don't know. Well, yeah, I really don't think we're going to get Sean Payton either, just yet. If anything, Sean Payton's going to happen maybe. If the Chargers would pick him up, it would probably be 2 years from now. Because I think Staley is going to stay with us for at minimum 4 years. So he's on a second year. He's going to have next year, and then he's going to have the year after that. So we'll see how that shakes out. And the truth is, too, is if he ends up at 10-7, he's definitely not going to get fired. So, and a lot of people will say, oh, well, I mean, there's no reason to fire him. Because they can blame it on the injuries instead, which kind of makes me mad. They have that excuse, and that is definitely an excuse to not fire somebody. I mean, yeah, you can't blame people for those for injuries and stuff, but there are magical things in this life where people, do something by called lying. Some motherfuckers be lying out there about their injuries, make it worse than it seemed because they just don't want to play for some coach. The coaches lost the locker room, and so they're like, nah, I don't like this guy anymore. He sucks. And so they make an injury seem worse than it really is. And that's just kind of one of the secret dirty things in the NFL. So, I mean, look at Kadarius Toney. He was with the Giants for a long time, and he was complaining about a hamstring injury. But then as soon as he actually got traded to Kansas City, he was magically healed, bro. Hey, that's just the way it is sometimes. But all right, so I think I'm going to wrap up, and I want to talk about this a little bit. Okay. Boat Pride Worldwide. They're putting on a big old event for us all, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did get hurt again. But yeah, so if you guys can, or if you guys are going to be going out to the game, there's a lot of cool things going on for Arizona, out for the Cardinals game this week. Friday, at 6 p.m., the Tempe Takeover at Anocha Cantina. It's going to be a good time. A lot of people are going to be there. Bolt Pride, Los Rayos, most of Thunder Alley is going to be there. It's going to be a good time. The meet and greet at McFadden's in Westgate. It's going to be a little bit of a fun thing. There's two situations going on there. From McFadden's is going to be it's a family place from 6 to 9 p.m. It's a super good time. But then after 9:30, it's a nightclub. 21 up. Let's go. Let's have a good time, yo. And then, of course, Sunday, the big one. That's the tailgate party. So, you should check it out. RSVP via Tailgater at bit.ly, at the link right there. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that there's other couple things. I need to RSVP to these things as well. I already RSVP'd to the tailgate itself, but I need to set up for the other one, the Tempe Takeovers. So that'll be fun. And, okay, so wristbands are required for their pre-sale is $25 for the tailgate, $30 on Sunday. So, sounds like a good time. Hey, but Bolt fam needs to go out there. There's going to be a big group picture, and then there's going to be a kind of parade walking into the stadium of all of us Charger fans grouped up from Thunder Alley going in. It's going to be a good time, guys. I hope to see you guys out there. And as always, bolt up, don't punt. Let's go.